and then like whatever this shitty.
Yeah, a bit
thing is.
of bum fluff or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sunday Social. We have an absolute stacked show this afternoon. But before we get into any of that, Sam, hope you don't mind. Shreyas Chive. Obviously, there was a certain game on yesterday where United won another one. That's 4 in a row for Mr. Michael Carrick. Chat to me about your feelings after the game, how you felt it went down, the whole Romero card situation. Just give me a brief kind of synopsis of the game if you can. Chive, I'll start with you, mate.
Yeah, it was worrying because obviously it's Spurs and based on what's happened recently, like over the past few years. But then at the same time, I still felt like we had more than enough to see the game through. I was only worried about things like I just thought some freak penalty or like a red card. I just thought something weird was going to happen. But then I love the way we handled it. Like 2-0 win at Tottenham. They could have had 13 men on. It didn't matter. But for me, I don't think the record mattered. I think we still would have scored. Like we had so many chances. Like it's just one of those things where we're just too strong for people now. And I think right now we probably, and I know people are gonna go crazy when I say this, but we have one of the best attacks in the league. Like
I don't think that's like out there statement. I think you'd probably bang on, to be honest. Like in terms of ability, for sure.
Ability wise, yeah, I'm just saying because like if I said this maybe like a month or two ago, it would be ridiculous. Yeah. But now all of a sudden we have one of the best attacks in the league, and it also seems like we have depth. Like we can make substitutions. Like we brought 2 strikers on. Like how crazy is that? So yeah, I was really really happy with the win, and finally we have like a routine 2-0 win and a clean sheet as well. So.
Yeah. Another bogey team as well, Shreyas, that's been put to the side. You think about Brighton beating them, obviously not in the FA Cup, but in the Premier League we beat them. We beat Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We beat Liverpool at Anfield. And then you just beat Tottenham as well. We haven't beaten kind of the last 7 games. So good continuation of this form. Are you feeling happy on cloud 9 a little bit in a minute?
Yeah, and even before the game started, I said that this is not a Spurs side that has been playing really well. They, I would say, they struggle a lot when it comes to their midfield and progressing the ball through the lines. And we saw it on display every single time. I think Casemiro was brilliant in that job every single time. Just taking the ball off from the midfield and, starting attacks every single time. And credit to both him as well as Mainoo. Because there was, I don't know how many instances where Mainoo just picked the ball up. He beat 2, midfielders with just one play. And then he just, rammed the ball forward. So
there was one thing in my head, Shreyas, where I was thinking, watching Mainoo yesterday, Chivid sat there with his popcorn smile, with a big smile on his face, watching this midfield performance and someone who's keeping hold of the ball and just keeping it ticking and simplifying the game as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I know that we haven't really had a good record against Spurs for quite some time, but going into those games as well, I can single-handedly pick out why we lost these games. What happened, why it happened. We were not set up properly. I remember, I think probably the last 4 to 5 games we had against Spurs, 2 passes and they used to be inside our box. Just 2 passes and they used to be inside every single time.
I mean, Van de Ven ran from his side of the pitch to our side of the pitch unchallenged in one game. So, like,
he said he was a bit of a cheat code in the chat.
I did.
Yeah, he isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just like
cheat code,
L1, R1, R2, L2, up, down, left, right, bang, just fucking zoom. You're like, whoa, what's going on there? What's happened? Crazy.
But I think we completely, I think, like Chibi also mentioned, that red card didn't matter as much. If you look at how we were playing, Spurs really didn't. They had a couple of moments where they did get the ball out wide to Xavi Simons on a couple of occasions, but they just didn't know what to do with it. And I think our defense was very nicely, organized in order to keep them out. And in this, after that goal, in the first half itself, in the second half, Spurs didn't really do anything at all. I mean, we had, for the first time we had majority possession, but at the same time, what was good to see was whilst we had more possession, we were creating even more opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think Spurs actually got off easy with the 2-0. I think we could have converted a lot more opportunities. I think there was, a lot of moments where there could have been a ball laid off to Ahmad or to Dallo. They were in very good, areas on a couple of occasions, especially the Dallo one. I thought maybe he could have converted something, but I just think it was a very good performance. I think all the departments worked really well. And I think even, what was good to see was even after we made those changes, we got, our subs on, the quality didn't drop at all. That, okay, the subs have got on, some players have got off, and Spurs have started to grow into the game a bit. It never really happened. So that was really good to see. And again, these 4 games, I would say under Amorim, we probably wouldn't have won all 4, let alone even, 2 games if Amorim was still around, to be very honest, because we beaten Arsenal at their home ground. We've beaten City. We've beaten Fulham, who we've struggled a lot against as well. And personally,
a very informed team as well. Fulham,
yeah, and I would
Fulham
say
were a really good side.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think they were a much more harder opponent in comparison to Spurs.
Yeah.
So, and Spurs as well, I think we actually got a result that we really deserved. Some luck has started to actually flow our way, and we're finally seeing the quality that we wanted to see on display on this pitch, because every single season it used to be, we have this, we have that, we have this player and that player who can, get to that level, but we never used to see that sort of quality on the pitch. And for the first time in quite some time now, we are seeing, if you have, gotten someone like a Cunha, and for that amount of money, you can see what he brings to the pitch. You can see how much of an impact Mbeumo is having, even though he's playing as a 9. Ahmad, even though he's not been getting goals and assists, he contributes massively to that attack every single time. And again, Bruno has every single game he gets a goal or gets an assist. And I think this deep lying role that he did, I think he's really refined himself as a 10 as well. I think if I have to compare it to when to Bruno under Oli, and now seeing Bruno, his style of play has changed a lot, and I think it creates even more of an
Hold your thoughts on that, because we're going to get into Bruno Fernandes. That's literally going to be the first kind of topic today that we wanted to cover: how to convince Bruno Fernandes to stay, because there still is quite a lot online circulating about his future and this potentially being his last season at the club. We're also going to take a look at the perfect midfield partner for Kobbie Mainoo as United look to recruit this summer. Can Man United actually win the league in the next 2 years? Does that look overly ambitious still, or has people's kind of thoughts changed in the situation? And the Matthias de Ligt dilemma when he comes back from injury. Do we keep Maguire and Lissandro as the partnership, and how does de Ligt kind of break into that? But Sam, this is where I'll bring you into it. Listen, Bruno Fernandes was at the heart of everything yesterday. He's been at the heart of everything we've done for the past 6 years. If you're Ineos now, because they're kind of towing that line of, we're looking at potentially Casemiro going, Harry Maguire going on big wages. Obviously, Bruno's got a big wage himself, but also retaining value and selling at the right time. But when he's playing as well as he does, how do you convince him to stay if you are Ineos?
Well, with what we're doing, winning games, pushing ourselves as far as we can go, qualify for Europe, challenge for a league title. Like, if he's convinced that we're going in the right direction and we're trying to get trophies, league titles and stuff like that, because that's the least that fucking guy deserves for United, isn't it? Is to lift a fucking league trophy. Jesus, like the amount of stuff that he's been through for United, like he deserves to lift something other than like an FA Cup or a League Cup. So yeah, I think that's the way you do that. The recruitment as well. And Mochi just making his appearance as usual. There we go. Every fucking time. I think you then convince him with recruitment. Hello. You bring in the right players around him. So obviously you're losing Casemiro. Side note on Casemiro, I really, really hope, at the end of the season when they do the speech at Old Trafford,
yeah,
I know I'm talking, I hope he does a Wolf of Wall Street moment and just goes, I'm not fucking leaving. Sign me up for that.
I love him.
Sign me up for that. Like, I'll be just do it. Do that for me, Cass.
He does a really heartfelt speech, and everyone's in a bit of tears and that, and saying all the obstacles he's overcoming, these kind of things, and then goes to drop the mic, picks it back up, and just cuts a promo and just I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, do that. And then if you convince Bruno, look, we're bringing in Elliot Anderson, we're bringing in Carlos, I don't want whoever it is you're bringing in.
Yeah,
we're rebuilding this midfield. You, Kobbie, Cass, maybe, but probably not. And we'll rebuild it, and we're going to push, and we're going to challenge for titles. Like, whether that's Michael Carrick in charge, whether that's Thomas Tuchel, whoever it is you bring in, we're going to push and challenge. And pretty much that's what you're going to have to do, because we're not going to be able to compete with the money that Saudi is going to be able to offer him. And if a European giant comes in from like a Bayern or a Barca or a Madrid or something like that, you're not going to be able to compete with them in terms of like Champions Leagues and winning league titles. So you have to convince him that we are going in the right direction and we will rebuild and we will invest. So I think that's the only way you keep him, because the rebuild is already difficult because we're losing Casemiro. If you lose Bruno Fernandes as well, that makes it 10 times more difficult for you. Like it's just
buying, isn't it?
Yeah, like you're just losing so much there. So
especially
I think
Maguire goes.
You could, I would say Maguire could go as well. So it makes it 10 times more difficult if that happens. So yeah, he has to stay. He has to stay.
I want to stay on Bruno Fernandes, but I have to ask the question, lads, like on Casemiro. If he was up for reducing his wage and staying, would you take that?
100%.
Oh yes, 100%.
I would, yeah.
I would keep him on the same wages if possible.
Yeah.
Is there any fan who would be like, nah, I don't want him to stay?
Like if they said, oh, it's different saying it's Casemiro, like, yeah, mate, do you want to accept £150,000 less?
Yeah.
It's a slightly different conversation, isn't it? But if
he
they turn around and like,
he does genuinely seem to love being at United.
Yeah.
Like I know he was a legend at Madrid.
Yeah.
But the connection he seems to have at United seems to be different than what he had at Madrid. Because every single game,
like Varane, remember Varane?
Yeah,
like when
every single game, he's holding his heart, he's like thanking the fans and stuff like that. Like he seems to have a connection at United. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could convince him, but at the minute it doesn't look likely, unfortunately.
I mean, I don't want to speak for every fan, but there are players in this team like Lissandro, Cass, Bruno. Those ones, Maguire. When you know that they are giving, Maguire's another great example, who are giving everything. You know they're almost dying on the pitch because of the effort that they're putting in and what they would do for the team as well. When you see that, like the fans instantly connect to those kind of things.
Maguire's played injured. How many times has Maguire played injured for us?
And Bruno.
Like it's unbelievable. Like he's had hip
Bruno's played with a
injuries
broken hand so many times.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of things you want to see. But focusing a little bit more on his ability, Chive, the Athletic put an article out today, I think it was Mark Critchler, asking the question basically, is Bruno Fernandes the best player in the Premier League right now? Where are you ranking him based off his form at the minute? Because he is right up there, isn't he?
He's probably one of the most informed players in the Premier League. Now, you guys know me. Recently, I don't really watch too many other Premier League games apart from us. So
you don't need to when we're playing this weather.
Yeah.
But I would say he's definitely up there. Him and Semenyo are probably on form, like the form players at the moment. Ekitike has started picking up recently, but on form, Bruno. And I think if we're just going to look at let's just say we're looking at the last 5 games, right? On how he's performed. We're talking about big moments in the last couple of games. He's scoring. I don't mean to throw shade, but like I was having a conversation with someone about Gyökeres, right? And we did, everyone's getting excited that he's scoring goals now, but he's not scoring like important goals. You see what I'm saying? It's not. It's not changing. Yeah, it's not match changing games. He's scoring the second goal or maybe a third, or like it's not. These aren't impactful goals. Yeah, they're important, but like Bruno is like, he's the moment that he's turning up in is incredible, and I think he deserves it. He deserves it because of the amount of criticism he's received over the last couple of years from people like myself. Who've sort of doubted him and stuff like that, and finally he's in a role once again that allows him to show his worth, that allows him to actually, because it's almost criminal. I know people say this a lot about they use this term criminal a lot, but it really was criminal playing him out of position.
Yeah,
for someone who's such an impactful player.
It's like putting Haaland on the wing, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's crazy. Although I agree with what Shreyas was saying, because I was thinking the same thing too. This year he's had under Amorim has actually made him a better player, playing in a deeper role. It's actually he's. Oh yeah,
I think he's refined a lot more.
He's refined a lot. Play. Yeah. How many? He's not making those stupid one-way passes again. Those crazy. I'm not seeing honestly, like the decisions that he makes, like that used to piss me off. Like I'm hardly seeing those decisions anymore. So. But then I think the point I'm trying to make is play him out of position where he was most impactful to us in the past. Like having him there now is almost like having a new player all of a sudden, and now you really see what Bruno's all about. And yeah, I think he deserves it, man. He deserves all the praise. I don't think anybody will be crazy to think that he's probably the best player in the Premier League right now. He's and in his position, I would say in the top European leagues, probably top 5 in his position, maybe.
Yeah, I think when you look at form of other players, whether you stick him with the Premier League or in, like, obviously Cole Palmer yesterday scored a hat-trick. 2 of them were penalties. One of them was like a quite decent finish. But that guy's been injured for the majority of the season, right? As much as I love Cole Palmer, he's not in the conversation because he's not played nowhere near as much as he should have done. Ødegaard doesn't even play in the 10 position anymore. He's more of this kind of stay where you are 8 and just kind of take the ball and take the pressure off a little bit and dictate and blah, blah, blah. So he doesn't really play like where Bruno Fernandes plays with such freedom. And then even if you go to Europe, you talk like it's like Bellingham hasn't had the best season.
Not this season.
Not this season, in particular. Musiala, I don't watch Bayern enough to know how well
Musiala has been injured. He's just come back.
Another one who's been injured. So I don't think it's crazy to say he's probably the best 10 in Europe on form at the moment. I really, really don't. When we look at his contract situation, Shreyas, he's got until June 2027 with an option for an additional year. Is there still any money, if an offer came in the summer, that would tempt you?
Wait, hold on, Shreyas, 1 second. Bruno isn't going anywhere. Let me just. He's not going anywhere. Why? Like he has unfinished business here.
He has done. I don't see him.
Nah, he's not going anywhere. Like, I think the vibe is different now. Like, Bruno, actually, you could tell that he felt kind of disrespected when that period when it was like where they were kind of floating the idea of him going.
Yeah, in the summer.
Yeah, some of the comments he made, it was kind of. So I personally, I don't. But yeah, I get why you're asking the question, but I don't see him going anywhere. Go on, Shreyas. Sorry.
I think it depends on Bruno rather than the club now, whether he goes or whether he stays. Because look, the thing is, there's not a player like Bruno left now who plays. This sort of a 10 is not there in football anymore. Like, honestly, if I even look across Europe, I don't see any other midfielder who comes into Bruno's role, and then even if the team is performing bad or even if the team is performing well, getting double digits in both goals and assists season in and season out is not easy at all. At all, especially with the sort of criticism and how much the media seems to target United players. Having that sort of target at your back, it's not easy to handle, especially whilst you're also the captain of the team. So I think if Bayern come calling, Barca come calling, or Madrid come calling, and again, it also depends on the fact as to who's manager for us next season. We still don't know whether it's going to be Carrick continuing, Enrique, or whatever names are going to be, floating about. But if someone else comes in, and things can happen, I can see a future where he stays, and we again build him around just as a 10, and then we sort of make other improvements into the team. But I can also see a future where another manager comes and they have sort of a different idea, and Bruno seems to see that he doesn't really see himself being successful in the short term future, because again, he's 31 now, so he's got 2 or 3 years left, perhaps. I think at the max
he's got longer. I think the way his body is and the way he performs and the lack of injuries, I think he's got longer than 2 or 3 years. I think he could play at the top to like 36.
I think
37.
he could play, but I think when it comes to making those big money moves or top moves, I think this is probably this 1 year or the next year is probably his last time to make that sort of big switch to another club. I think after that he definitely can play, but whether he'll be able to make another big switch is completely out of the question, because clubs these days don't really seem to go after 33 or 34-year-olds, especially when they look at starting options in their team. I just don't see it happening. So I think it's going to be a tough call, but I really hope he stays, because his, presence in this team is quite immense, and he's got this team flowing, he's got this attack flowing, and a lot of our, right now, a lot of responsibility is on his shoulders whilst he's playing in this sort of a setup in the 10. And it's going to be quite difficult for us to, again, replace Casemiro in one window itself and then replace Bruno as well within the same window. The amount of experience that we lose, it's not easy to replace. I mean, Casemiro's won 5 Champions League.
Well.
Yeah. And having that sort of experience in these sort of competitions, considering maybe we do make Champions League football next season, you're going to need players like Casemiro and Bruno there to actually steer these youngsters into the right direction, because barring Casemiro and Bruno, there's not a lot of players in this team who've actually played consistent Champions League football.
No.
So we need this sort of experience in this team.
You look at his just pure metrics, about 75 chances created in the Premier League, 6 goals and 12 assists so far, 6 goal involvements in his last 5 games, and he's done it against Arsenal, City, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea this season. Like, he's just been unbelievable. And you know how good he's been by the way everyone else is speaking. Rival fans are speaking about him. He's been incredible, and I think Arsenal would be well away if Bruno Fernandes was in their team at the minute. They would be fucking another 9 points ahead of something. Like, the Premier League could be done and dusted already. It's been crazy. Let's get into the comments because there's quite a lot of these in the chat. Please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about Kobbie Mainoo next. Brian Case is saying, happy Sunday, lads. Hope you're all well. Surely the upturn in performance, attitude and energy around the club should convince Bruno to stay. That Premier League trophy is close. Bruno's numbers speak for themselves. He walks into any big team in Europe. Imagine what Arsenal would have won if we would have had him, which I've just mentioned as well. Pat May, if we keep this standard up in which all players look like they have the belief we can be successful, I hope Bruno will stay. And for sure, he's the best player in the Premier League. Big up, Fab Four, better than the Beatles, by the way, apparently, us four, which is some comparison. I'll take it. Afternoon to everyone else in the chat as well. Sam, Kobbie Mainoo is another one as we look towards the summer. It looks like obviously he's more likely to stay now. He's enjoying himself. He's playing regular football, and has been absolutely top since coming back into the team. Do you think Michael Carrick has had a massive influence in that, or do you think he's just gone and told him to play?
Well, he said he was asked about that in the pre-match, wasn't he? What sort of stuff have you passed on? And he said, I've not really had to pass anything on. Just sort of like give them the freedom to do what they do. Like, we all knew Kobbie Mainoo was a top player. We've seen it. We saw it for an entire season, how good this guy was. Like, he came into the United team, starting spot, and then just didn't let go of it. Like, he was there. He ended up going with England, took a starting spot there, played in a final. Like, this kid is the real deal. And there's this whole thing of, like, I think you mentioned it on the channel a couple of days ago, and the clip went out. Like, we were gaslit under Amorim into thinking he didn't work hard enough, he wasn't quick, he didn't want it enough, he didn't have good enough performances, all this sort of shite. And he's coming under Carrick, barely played a kick this season, and looked not out of place, not like he's not touched the ball, and has just fitted in like he belongs there, like we all knew he did. So, like Chivy talked about criminal, it's up there with Ten Hag not playing Ahmad for the amount of time that he did. How mad it just Ahmad was just not getting, and we could not understand it. Ruben Amorim not playing Kobbie Mainoo is just up there with why. Like, it was just, and the fact that he was this close to leaving the club, I think might have broken Chivy. I think Chivy might have just gone, I'm not watching football anymore. If he ends up leaving, if he end up leaving Man United, because he's like, people going, oh, he's overrated. It's like, he's not. He made it into an England team at 19 and started a Euros final. Like, how many 19-year-old midfielders come into an England team in their first tournament and start a Euros final? Like, it doesn't happen. Do you know? So, like, he's so good. He's ridiculous.
One of the biggest compliments I can pay as well is how mature he is for his age. Like, he doesn't look so bewildered, does he? You know, when he's on the pitch, he's so, like, the glass of wine thing can come into it. Yeah. He's just kind of gets on with it, so blasé, and kind of like Hargreaves said it. Like, I didn't necessarily agree with him. He said, like, he's never had a bad game. Because I think about Grimsby and other games like that. But for the most part, when he has come in, he's just looked so, like, placid and just. Mate,
speaking of Grimsby, do you remember his penalty against Grimsby? It was like, I don't. It was literally like, you know, because before he took it, I was worried, and when it was like a matured player, like he just almost has stroked it in, but pause on that.
Careful, pause. Pause. We know how quickly the show can turn. As for a partner, though, Chivy, because I was going to come to you next on this, who would be best with Mainoo? Because obviously we're seeing him and Casemiro have quite good partnership in a minute. It's inevitable that Casemiro is going to leave. So, and you don't have to say a specific player, more of a type, maybe, who would fit next to him.
Yeah, you're not going to like this response, Nick.
Are you going to say Busquets?
No. gonna say Sander
You're gonna say
Berge,
Spanish. Oh, Nick's favorite player, Sander Berge.
It's not gonna like that. That sort of profile of player, like yeah.
What a boring who can't pass further than 10 yards. You like that kind of player?
Oh my God, Nick! I think you have me wrong. I honestly think you have this guy wrong. Honestly, he's a really, really good player, and I think profile wise, I think he'll be perfect for that. Now, I can choose. I can go with the popular choice with Elliot Anderson, but to be honest, I don't know him that well. I haven't watched too many.
But you know Sander Berge quite well, do you?
Yeah.
It's coming from the guy who doesn't watch other Premier League teams.
Yeah,
he's my mate. We play golf with
5-a-side.
Yeah, like yeah. But after when you watch the way he plays, like I like the profile that he brings, and I think he brings a kind of balance where he can allow for Kobbie to roam, and in attack is also good as well, which is crazy about Cass, because Cass.
Yeah. And
have you noticed, like, towards the end of was this the Spurs game? Yeah, it was the Spurs game. Towards the end of that game, like, he was further
playing as a 10
than Kobbie. Yeah, he was like, up there, like on the edge of the box. I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah. Always helps me without 10 men though, just to kind of
it does
throw
help,
it out there.
But it not necessarily Sander Berge, but a player with that profile who just keeps the ball ticking, keeps it easy, wins the ball back, gives it on. He can make the quick pass. He can, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's tall enough for the physical aspect of the game, but a player who sort of complements him. You don't need another midfield buster, to sort of get in there and just run around and stuff. You just need someone who complements Kobbie's qualities, and I think that sort of profile of player will probably be what I would go for, even if it's like it doesn't even have to be a superstar, Sander Berge, like a Jimmy Garner sort of profile, easy, just make life easy for everyone else, basically. That's all.
Still not letting that Jimmy Garner thing go, are you? After all these years.
It's going to be 10 years from now, and Jimmy Garner's going to be playing somewhere else.
15 million.
Chivy's going to be like, we need to bring it back.
£15 million. I mean, we have been linked to, in fairness, with both Sander Turd and Jimmy Garner. Been linked with both
recently,
of them. So,
yeah.
recently as well.
Signed a new deal though, hasn't he, with Everton?
As a,
so, yeah, he would cost.
Yeah.
Cost a bit.
I think just one. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, just that one sort of. I don't think we need to do too much business as far as like in the summer. Like, we've got a really good amount of attackers. 1 or 2 midfielders, 1 or 2 left backs will be good, honestly. And if we can get one expensive midfielder and then one cheaper option to sort of balance things, I think we'll be all right.
Do you know what I find weird? That they're talking about getting a centre back, and I'm like, do we really need a centre back?
We don't need a centre back, bro.
There's been like loads of stuff about United wanting. I'm like, do we need one? Like, if we keep Maguire, Yoro, Heaven, Lissandro, Mazraoui can play there, Delict, Shaw can play there. Like, we don't need a centre back. So I'm just like, it's baffling me that we haven't been linked with a full back. And we're being linked with a centre back. Like, it's weird.
I want to throw.
We'll probably get onto it because we're talking about Delict later on, I guess.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We'll probably, yeah.
I want to throw a couple of names at you, Shreyas. Now, further north in England, there's a team called Newcastle United who are absolute dog shit at the minute. I mean, Eddie Howe's probably going to get sacked. They haven't been great. And they've got a couple of players in the midfield who
there's only one I want, not the other one. There's only one.
You wouldn't want the other one.
You don't want the other one.
Wow.
I want both.
I'll take both.
I only want
who's the other one?
Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah, I'll take both.
Oh, Guimaraes. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
Guimaraes. He's contract till 2028, I think, with Newcastle at the minute. But obviously, the situation they're in at the moment and
financially,
very bad spot.
These are the reasons. I'm not saying Newcastle fans are going, no, you're not having him.
Don't need to sell. We don't need to sell.
We don't need to sell. No, we don't. You're making it up. I know there'll be Newcastle fans like that, but when you look at the quality of players, there's no denying it. They are top players. Tonali is looking to move in the summer. I know it's going to be expensive, but should we at least?
It's going to be to be honest, I know Tonali is very close on the verge of leaving, but I think he'll be the same price as Elliot Anderson. If we look at the valuations.
I don't think he'll be slightly cheaper. I think he might be.
He
cheaper
could be
than Mendes.
because again they'll be desperate to sell next season as well, because there's no way Newcastle are getting European football or Champions League football for that matter next season in, and they will have to sell. And the only reason I'm more fixated on getting someone like a Tonali in is because I think he can do that Casemiro job really well. Just come in and shore things up. I think Tonali is a very, very good fit. Again, Champions League exposure, Premier League proven at the same time, and just gives you a lot of confidence inside that midfield. And when you want someone like a Kobbie Mainoo alongside you with that sort of freedom to move up ahead, I think Tonali is a better fit in comparison to Guimaraes, because I just think Guimaraes is more of a box to box in my opinion. And I think if you have the choice of going for one, I would rather go for Tonali, and probably then you have, if you've got more money lying in the bank, get 30-35 million for Stiller for the long run, to someone to facilitate when Bruno leaves.
I
have to.
4 things in this show, when we do it live, it's Steeler, Stack, Busquets, and fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, always get mentioned every show. Fuck off, Steeler, fuck off, Stack. And I'm joking. But you're right. I know what you mean. That kind of pragmatism in midfield.
And I think we will need 2 midfielders next season. And like, just getting one won't be enough. You'll have a lot more games. You'll need, more options for you mid games as well to actually make changes. And if you want to maintain that sort of quality, you'll need 2 midfielders in. So again, Newcastle is a club that could be raided. Whether and I just think that when the summer comes, maybe more opportunities present. There's still a lot of football yet to be played this season. Maybe players who are not being considered right now might be considered in the possibility of being in the contention next season. And so you never know. I still think United could not just do business for midfielders and fullbacks. They could even go for a well-established striker just as a mentor, because I'm not too like in the long term in next season, considering Carrick is here, just looking at it from that perspective, I don't think Sesko is going to be that go-to person for you week in and week out, playing in, playing out, because right now that's Mbumo. So we might be looking at someone who's got a bit more experience as a 9 coming in next season. I won't be surprised if that happens.
I tell you what though, I quite like Mbumo as a 9. I can't lie. I think he's playing really, really well, and he's physical enough as well.
Yeah. Also, just thinking about the Tonali thing now, he would be class for us.
Tonali, Mainoo, and Bruno.
I'm just thinking about it now, like, mate, he would be. Oh my god,
disgusting. Can you say this, by the way, if I play it? Let me put it on.
You have to sell.
Yeah.
You don't have to sell this to me. It's all paper nonsense. You haven't got a clue.
So happy you could hear that. So happy you could hear that. I'm dying to play that.
I think they'll be in a very bad spot. Like, honestly, if Tonali leaves, Voltemada might even leave. You never know. So they'll be in lots of troubles next season, Newcastle.
You know what I just like about this, how things have turned out, was when Sesko signed for United, like, Newcastle fans were going crazy.
Oh yeah.
They were talking about how he's joining like a declining club, how we paid more. And then there was a fan, I'll never forget this. He was like, why would you join a team that like Newcastle is definitely going to finish above United this season? And I've never had anything personal with Newcastle.
No, they have
never,
personal, but
they
made it. I don't know why.
They
hate us.
So since then, I was like, okay, then it's war. It's war now. Like,
hate watch every time.
Oh my god, yeah. So I love it.
It can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
Just love it.
It can.
It can.
Just the last question on the Mainoo situation, Sam. Why, when you watch him in the team now and how he's performing alongside the Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, why was Amorim so stubborn?
I mean, ask him. Like, so many decisions that he made. Like, I mean, what do you mean? Like, it's just, there's so many decisions he made where you're just like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this?
I hate hearing his name, man. Honestly, I really do. I really do hate hearing his name. Like, I wish we could just
erase him from history.
Name,
yeah. There was a lot of decisions that I was just like, I don't understand. Like, there's some of the substitutions with, like, why was he changing centre backs every game? Like, why was that happening? Like, what was the benefit? There was just no benefit to it.
One was the biggest one.
Yeah,
Newcastle, sorry.
There was just so many where you just like, this is this is baffling. And like Kobbie Mainoo was right up there with a list of like stuff that he was doing where you just couldn't understand it. And now he's back in the team. He's like, sometimes when a player excludes a certain player and then they come back in and they don't play well and they're like, oh, they were actually vindicated. It's not worked, has it, that one? Like, he's come back in the team and he's made Amorim look absolutely stupid because, like, he should have been in the team all along. Like, it's ridiculous. Even Ten Hag understood how good this kid was. And Ten Hag made a lot of stupid decisions also. And he understood how good this kid was.
Pay so much money for like a goggle box style episode of Ruben Amorim sat on the couch watching this United team in a minute in the last 4 games, just to get his thoughts. And he must be sat there now going, "Fucking hell, I got it."
No,
so
he's just too busy counting out that 10 million that he's got. He don't give a shit. He doesn't care.
I think
there's something. I think there's a lot more that we don't really understand.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Remember, like the 2 halves of football when he played the 4-2-3-1 against Newcastle were amazing.
Yeah.
And then in the second leg against, I don't remember what team it was, but in the second leg he plays,
Wolves.
he goes to 4-2-3. And we're crazy. And like there's something there that
he moved Dorgu as well. Remember, he played Dorgu on the wing and he was excellent. And then he
moved him,
next game, I put him back to fullback. You're like, what are you doing?
It wasn't the next game, it was the next half. It was
the
next half.
Yeah.
So Dorgu played right wing in the first half and then he moved. And I'm like, so there has to be something. I don't know what it is. Maybe they should investigate him for betting or whatever, especially when it comes to like no, seriously, when it comes to like subbing on the centre backs, maybe he'll put a bet on Euro for making because it doesn't make sense.
How many centre backs
Euro to get 24 minutes
game?
Bro. So yeah, it's insane. I just hate to hear his name now, honestly.
Yeah.
Do
you know what really sticks in my head? From like, each coach has like a thing where you remember him by. Obviously, Ten Hag was clear. Every Ruben Amorim was really struggle.
Suffering.
We have to
suffering. We have to suffer, guys. Guys, we have.
Why
to
do we have to
suffer?
suffer?
Yeah.
Why do we have to suffer?
No, we
the
don't.
The team is good. The team is good. We don't have to suffer. It's good.
And some of the stuff he will come out where he's like really criticizing Dorgu and throwing them like these young players under a bus, and you're like, he's got a lot to learn.
He criticized the player that he wanted to bring in the first place. So he brought him in, and he went,
and then criticized him.
Like, why?
I think there was this one press conference he had where he criticized all the youth players we had who thought that they should be getting more minutes or something. I don't remember what it was, but he did. Lacey, Amas, and all these players who were around at that time, and said that maybe
he named names. Do you remember? He
said Amas was having a poor loan, and he would play with him twice at Sheffield.
He just won it.
Yeah. Like it's
weird, wasn't it?
Look at Chido as well. Like, I think he said something about Chido. He mentioned Chido's name, which is mad.
Just again, loads of comments, so I just want to get through a couple of them. Jackson saying, "Hi guys, what Man United club need to do is that not the structure we used to see from Alex Ferguson's tenure. The club decided to get it by not recruiting so far." I mean, I almost had a stroke reading that. I have no idea what that comment's supposed to say. But thanks for the comment. Fullbacks are needed. Ship Shaw when we might have some value. Can we sign 2 Brunos in the summer and have a midfield of Bruno?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the commentator? Bruno. Back to Bruno.
What a goal. UK Darren fan saying, hope Bruno retires at United. Bring on West Ham. S. Madison saying, don't convince anyone we United were bigger than any player. Do you guys think Amorim wanted the sack?
Definitely. That press conference.
Yeah.
I
think he sabotaged
it.
He sabotaged himself.
100%.
Yeah.
Because if he walks away, he has $0. If he gets sacked, he gets the big payout. So he just was like, well, I'll get myself sacked.
I think there's been a bit of ego at play here. I think he has. Wilcox and others have said to him, why don't you just change it up, try this style for 1 or 2 games. He's done it. He's won. He's been proven wrong, and then he's gone, nah, fuck that. I'm not letting them tell me what to do, dictate
and
what
then
to do.
He went back
and then lost.
and then went into the press conference and was like, Wilcox, just put out a load of shit, knowing he would get sacked. Like, he knew that was going to be the result. So,
Adam in the chat, big up Adam, saying, lads, maybe we just don't stop winning for the rest of our lives.
I mean, back in mine and Chivy's day, that's what happened. We used to just keep winning shit.
Smash everyone.
Do you know, Chivy, I was having this conversation with Carl Anker last night, and we were talking about. Do you remember the last title we won under Fergie? I didn't really celebrate it because I was so used to winning titles. And obviously, that was the last title we ever won. I don't remember going mad, like going, "Oh, we'll win another one. We'll win another one."
Yeah.
And then we haven't won one since.
Yeah,
like,
the only thing that was significant about that was because it was going to be Fergie's last thingy. Yeah,
but I was like, "Oh,
because,
we'll win another title. We'll get another one. It'll be fine."
We won it with Anderson and Cleverley.
Yeah, exactly.
In midfield.
Yeah,
like that's just insane.
Like, we'll win. I was like, we'll win another title. Like even with Moyes, we'll win another title, and then just haven't.
T2 saying, to be fair to Amorim, we did fucking suffer for 15 months.
Yes, we did. But why did we suffer?
Because
of the team or because of him? Which one?
Should have never lost that Europa League final.
Don't bring it up, Shreyas. Don't fucking bring that up. Please.
Considering how bad they was, honestly, they were so fucking bad in that game.
That might have been the worst I've ever felt watching United. I think
that's the worst final.
Yeah, that's the lowest.
I've never felt lower than that.
Was it me and you, Sam, who did the review after it? And we was like, I think we both messaged each other saying, I really don't want to do this. Really don't want to do this review.
Do you remember the Talk of the Devils one when they did it in the stadium? And they were both like just all trying to taunt themselves from jumping off the fucking balcony.
Honestly. T2 said, I've said this before, but it's mental that we were gaslit into thinking Cass and Kobbie couldn't play together. It's like a collective hallucination. Yeah, just the one thing on that, right? I always try backing a manager, and I always try to see kind of their thought process, and if they want to stick to a certain principle, I believe they should go through with that because that's their belief. Yeah. But when it's to the detriment of the team and certain players, it just becomes a thing where you just can't continue anymore.
When it's not working, then if so I suppose it's similar with everyone. Like we were all open to the ideas that this guy was bringing in. We understood that it was a different style of play, and maybe it would take some time to gel. But we needed to see it work. At least we needed to see something there. Yeah. But then if you keep telling us this and then it doesn't work, and then it starts to cause disharmony with the team, we can't really see where it's going, then I have to question you as a fan, So also, for me, it was never an agenda. And I'm sure with a lot of people, it was never an agenda. It's just, I couldn't just see what was happening, what he was getting at.
Also, the things that Carrick has done, it's not been revolutionary. It's not been an absolute. It's all been stuff we've all said on this channel multiple times. Yeah. Midfield free, put those guys up, change it to a back four, and play with a bit more freedom rather than this structured sort of thing. Carrick's not reinvented the wheel. He's just simplified it, and we've been saying that for fucking 2 years. Just simplify it, and it's worked, which shows he was even more wrong because the answer was so simple and so easy to fix this because we've seen it. So it's Shreyas in a power cut apparently.
One thing I think that can't be overlooked for me with this whole situation with Carrick coming in is the Steve Holland appointment because I think obviously Carrick will get the plaudits because he's the main man and the figurehead and someone who's won at United before, right? But Steve Holland, the kind of revolution at Chelsea when he was a little bit shit, and then Jose's second time there, Gus Hiddink when he came in, Conte, all these guys, he was the number two. He was the one who was setting up a lot of the things tactically and doing the things on the training pitch. And a guy with his wealth of experience, someone who's actually a United fan and has got a season ticket at United as well, that can't be overlooked in terms of what we're doing at the minute. It really can't. So it's another kind of shrewd appointment, in my opinion, from Michael Carrick. And others, you look at the set piece that we scored as well yesterday. That was Johnny Evans and the new set piece analyst as well.
That was Evans.
Yeah, that was Evans.
Keisuke Agata, I think he's a Japanese guy.
Japanese geezer, right?
Yeah, he's been, which you've seen on the pitch as well, because obviously he was here during Amorim's tenure as well. Because we've gone from being absolutely abysmal at set pieces to being second in the league on goals from set pieces. So it's clearly had an impact. Yeah,
but there's a difference. I was a bit more classy,
I'm saying it's a different set piece, but in terms of just goals scored. Yeah,
we're not elbowing keepers and crowding.
No. Ours is nice to watch. Ours is enjoyable.
It's funny. I saw loads of memes Arteta watching a set piece that's played nicely and just like that, looking at the TV, what the fuck. So slightly dragged off topics there. Just the last couple of things that we can kind of whiz through. I mentioned De Ligt at the start of the show, lads, just because I think it's interesting when he does come back. what selection he's going to make, because Majari's come back and Majari still isn't starting. It's Diego Dalot who's in the team. So these guys are going to need to be almost pushed out of the team. And I was looking before, his last game for us was 30th of November against Crystal Palace, Matthias de Ligt. He's missed 13 games in total, which is just craziness considering we was told
originally
1 week, 2
it was
weeks.
just a knock, wasn't it? Originally, it's just like, he's not going to be out long.
But because it's his back, it's like, it's one of those situations you don't want to force. But what do you do now as a manager? Because we've only got 14 games left. We don't have any European games or domestic cups. So do we just stay with the same partnership until we see maybe a bit of a weakness? Is that the best way to go?
I don't think that's up to the manager. That's up to de Ligt. Like, he has to force his way back into the squad. You can't just come back and walk in. Like, you have to force your way back in.
They've not done anything wrong. They haven't made a mistake.
No.
So
I mean, Sandro in particular, I'm like, wow, he has been so good.
Remember as well, we were all questioning, can he come back the same?
I wasn't.
Is it going to be
I was looking at you guys like you guys were crazy. I wasn't. But I get it because because the injury he had, it kind of made him. He lost like a yard of pace. It was.
He said it
himself. Very dicey. Yeah, but I never doubted his ability. But with de Ligt, like he has to force his way back in. I don't think even Mazraoui.
Yeah, you can't drop Diego Dalot now. Like, you can't drop.
He has to. Yeah, he has to put the work in. So that's on the player. That's on him. So I don't think he deserves to just walk back in, because Maguire right now has to make the World Cup. Like, I don't know, maybe Guehi, but I don't know any English centre backs right now.
It should be them too as the partnership.
That's it, because you need the character, you need the experience, you need, look what he did to Solanke. I was so scared of Solanke because he always scores against us when he bullied him, man. There was one time, like, I think it was like in the 15th minute or so, like Solanke leans on him, he just kind of just pushes him off. Like,
and he laughed on it, like Solanke's on the floor and he's kind of laughing at him a little bit, and you're like,
it's mad. So like, de Ligt
he enjoys it, doesn't he? He enjoys that. Like, if someone wants to get physical with him, like, he enjoys it. Like, he's up for that. That's what he's good at.
And that's on the pitch as well. We're not talking about what he does in his spare time. But yeah, I have to agree. I think both of them have really, really impressed me. Almost gone to another level. But we saw it slightly with Varane and Leacher when they were both fit and firing and going. Yeah. They were top.
There was a short period where you were like, that might be the best centre-back partnership.
Because you had such a nice, like, Varane was so quick that even if he'd catch up and then Leacher on the ball and the press resistance, everything a really good partnership at the minute. And I agree with you both. I don't think you should mess that up just because someone's going back. I think he should earn it or take his 10-15 minutes when he comes on the pitch and do it that way. Last question, and it's quite a big question to ask, but again, this is another topic that's going around. And I'll ask the same people that are in the chat as well. Omar Barada had a bit of an ambitious statement with the club, setting 2028 as winning league as a target. When you watch how we're playing at the minute and you look at the quality of players that we've got, if we play like we do now, how far are we away from it in your opinions? Now, form is one thing, class is another thing, I get that. But we're seeing the level of these players, what they can do in big games. So what do we need to get to that level in both of your opinions?
Consistency is literally what we need, because, I mean, this season is the perfect example. If we had just a little bit of consistency going, we probably would be second right now. Like, I'm not trying to be overly ambitious.
Because everybody's dropped points. Villa dropped points. City dropped points. Liverpool dropped points. Everybody dropped points.
Yeah. If you look at the points we've dropped from winning positions,
or against teams that we should beat as well, like Everton,
or against teams we
West
should be
Ham.
beating. Lots of times that we're winning, we kind of just dropped off and just let the other team back in. Like, I don't think this league is as crazy as people take it to be. Like, this is probably going to be, if Arsenal win this league, like, they'll probably be like the worst champions. I don't mean worse as far as like terrible players.
They didn't fight. They didn't fight to win it, did they? Like,
they didn't really. Yeah, they did. The competition to win it wasn't really that bad. The attackers aren't really scoring goals. Like, most of their goals are coming from the midfield and defense. Like, so it's not like the league is. And this is no shade on them. I'm just on Arsenal. I'm just talking about the way the league is going so far. And I don't think it's crazy to think, in the next 2 or 3 years, to be challenging for the title. If anything, we're the ones who can do it, because there's no club like United. Like, we're the most spontaneous club. We're the most we're weird, devilish, everything. Like we're the ones. If anyone is supposed to pull off something so crazy, it will be us. But then if I was just going to go by facts and based on, if I was just going to go logically on realism, it's not out of the realms of possibility because we have the players that can do it. Really, if we strengthen with a couple of midfielders, 1 or 2 left backs, add 1 or 2 more experienced coaches to the team, like a few more backroom stuff, I think we'll be good, man.
Yeah, for me, I think it's quite simple. If they keep recruiting how they've been doing, we have another 1 or 2 windows with the quality of players that we brought in, and that will happen especially if we get Champions League football. I think you can start having conversations about that. I really do. Yeah. So, yeah. T2 saying 2028. Forget that. We're winning it this year. James McCrocken. Firstly, we're still 5 players away from quality of our 11 as it's just to compete on 4 fronts. Spurs injuries have to be partially due to their packed schedule. Yeah, it's a different beast, isn't it, when you've got that much football and European football and stuff. But yeah, we shall leave it at
James,
that.
you're a little bit too realistic for this show, man. Come on,
yeah,
we need some James. We need some delusion.
Yeah,
some delusion in your life.
Give us some delusion, please, man.
Aim for the stars, so you can land on the clouds. That's what we say. That's the message we're going to leave you with. We are going to go head off and record the West Ham preview. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're dropping potentially tonight or tomorrow morning. And for anything else,
Sam, did you see in the chat when Nick said wet ham instead of West Ham?
Wet ham, yeah.
Did that?
Yeah.
What, on a live show? I said
no.
In the group chat.
But wet ham.
Wet ham. I was like, that sounds a bit dodgy.
It's going to be another one that sticks in it.
I was like, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave it and hopefully he corrects it.
There will be wet ham after we plastered him on Tuesday night anyway, so no problem. Yeah, as I said, guys, appreciate you all. Please do go check us out on socials. For anyone who doesn't follow us on social media, they're on your screen. TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, all popping off at the minute. So yeah, go get involved, interactions and stuff. Turn on notification bell so you don't miss the preview video dropping. And what do you say, Sam?
Merch.
Yeah, merchandise as well, which I can happily pop in your screen if it doesn't.
Wet Ham t-shirt coming soon when we beat West Ham.
Why not?
Get a Wet Ham t-shirt.
Why not? I don't know what that t-shirt would consist of or
maybe
what would be on that.
Maybe Nuno getting slapped by a piece of wet ham.
Yeah.
Or something.
A dripping piece of ham.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting into it. Yeah, so it's not on your screen. It's going on your screen now. There we go. Yeah. All the merchandise, hoodies, caps, mugs. Do I have the mug? I don't have the mug on. I've got the cap on. I don't know where my hoodie's at. But yeah, you can help yourself to any kind of items. All the link is in the comments section. So if you want to grab any stuff, then yeah, feel free to tag us in the pictures on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, cool. Then we can leave it at that, guys. Thank you to Stuart. Thank you to Sam. This has been Sunday Social. We'll see you in the West Ham preview, the Wet Ham preview.